Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished delegates, let me see if I have some solutions from what we have been doing at Yale University. I would start thanking the organization for making such a wonderful event where educationists like all of you can get together and discuss things which are in our heart all the time, especially the educationists. A little background of mine, I come with IIT background of about 10 years of studies and then about 38 years of professional life there. Then I went to a private university to see how private universities work as a founder vice chancellor, and then I assumed the position of chancellor subsequently, and presently I am on my own. I would like to discuss about the higher education scenario and then try to talk about the challenges and opportunities before the private universities. I would also try to present what we have been doing at Yale University to find solutions to those challenges, or how to use those challenges as opportunities, and then I will conclude. The higher education present scenario, I am giving you some facts which may not tally with many of you who have presented or who know some of the things, but certainly they tell us some trend. For example, the gross enrollment ratio in higher education may be close to about 20% today, whereas our MHRD aims at 30% in another 8 to 10 years' time. We have, as of today, 134 million population in the age group of 15 to 24, and if we aim at 30% gross enrollment ratio, even if this population remains static, which will never, it's going to be roughly about 40 million people who need to be educated or who require education, because they will be in the age group of higher education, 15 to 24 years of age. As of today, we have something like 25 million students enrolled, and it really means that another few years' time we will require about at least about 20 million more seats to be created. We have close to about 700, as we heard a little while ago. Some figures show about 750. So about 750 universities we have. We have about 38,000 colleges, maybe some people quote about 50, etc. Well, we have about 1 million teachers today. All these are to be scaled up, more than doubling to be done in another 3 years' time. And so, how to meet this target and additional capacity building to be done, we require huge requirement is there by setting up institutions in the we have public sector institutions. Some of the best universities in the world, like Harvard, Yale, Stanford, MIT, etc., are private. That has to be borne in mind. So the only way, because we know that things, it would not be possible for the country in the public sector to meet this huge demand. It's only the private sector, if they come forward, then they can possibly do the things as it has happened all over the world. The only way to make this demand is encouraging setting up private colleges and private universities in our country. The challenges before the private universities are huge shortage of qualified, I repeat, qualified and trained teaching staff is not there. Inadequate infrastructure in most of the cases is inadequate, and in some of the colleges, in the private sector, in the public sector, etc., all course curriculum, in particular some of the public sector institutions, it's extremely a tough job. I have seen from my experience of about close to 40 years that I was in IIT Kharagpur, that it's extremely difficult for IITs to do in 2 years, every 2 years time, the changing of the syllabi and all that. But in some of the universities, it's extremely difficult. Some of the institutions lack in this facility. Faculty is not there, facility is not there. Ineffective teaching learning process, inadequate effort in imparting employability skills. Yes, we are, our institutions, I agree with the previous speaker, that the universities, institutions are not set up to find placement for the students. I fully agree, 100% agree. But then we need to train them, we need to give them knowledge, we need to train them with respect to employability also. This is part of the knowledge that we give them. There is a lack of holistic development oriented environment in most of the institutions, and that's what is standing in the way. Staying ahead would mean that we got to present innovative and attractive course curriculum. That's very important today. We got to have to be up to date as to what is happening. The students who get admitted today, after another 4 years, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, or 10 or 6 years, in some institutions, yes, there are 6-year programs. They will come out from the institutions to face the industry, to face the society. So the knowledge that should be, we should be imparting should be futuristic in mind. Our teachers, our curriculum, our institution thinking all should be such that we should be able to think ahead of what is going to happen in another 5 to 10 years time when they will really be employed or they will be taking up some positions. We have to create state-of-art infrastructure, bringing revolution in the teaching learning process, which has not been happening. Even though we have been talking about a lot of softwares and the virtual labs, virtual knowledge, virtual classrooms, virtual institutions, many things we have been talking about, that's not happening really. That's what I found from my experience. Adopting active or experiential learning is what is very important today, and that's also lacking. Most of the teachers are unaware. Most of the teachers do not know what is active or experiential learning that they have to impart. We have to set up virtual labs or virtual workshops focusing on entrepreneurship ready professionals rather than job ready professionals. That's very important because today, with the size of the population, the students, 40 million, etc., in another few years' time, if that is the type of the people coming out from the universities, colleges, etc., and seeking jobs, it will be extremely difficult for them. No organization, no country can really afford to be creating, getting some jobs. It is the only entrepreneurship mind that will be able to solve this problem. And that's what is our responsibility. I feel that as higher educationists, we got to do that. We got to train in that particular manner. We have to facilitate students to learn from online materials, because all the materials should not, I dare say, they should not be given to the students. They should be trained to look forward, look ahead and see, search for themselves and find more material, etc. And that's what is needed. Developing problem-solving skills would require, we must know that learning is a highly individualized process, and that is again very rarely understood by the teaching faculty, by the institution. Student-centric along with active teacher-centric instruction. I say active teacher-centric instruction. Student-centric, active teacher-centric instruction of the learning environment will help develop the problem-solving skills. Students should be able to reflect, apply their ideas in solving problems in active experiential learning. Counseling students for networking, very important today, taking up industrial internships, undertaking their strengths, weakness, etc., analysis, SWOT analysis, and redefining their goals would be very important, and this is the kind of training we got to be there. Now, keeping these things in mind, the way ahead that I have enunciated, well, in Yale University, which is barely about 6 years old university, we have taken up several innovative steps to understand or solve this particular problem, or to see as to how we can live up to the expectations of the society at large and how to become one of the global players in this particular field. We have the first thing that we understood, we faced that there is a huge crisis of teachers. Even all of us know that even IITs do not get sufficient number of teachers, even though everything is in place in such institutions. Everything is there, but then they do not get so many teachers that they need. There is a huge vacancy, 40%, 50% even people quote, that's there. So the teachers are to be trained, because what we get today in our universities, we get sufficient number. If there is an advertisement in particular department in our university, we may get a few thousand applications, but they are not the type of people that we are looking for. But then what we have to do, what we understood that, well, the best among the worst people that we are getting should be taken in, and then but they have to be trained. So we have in Yale University, first thing that we did, even in these 6 years of our age, last 3 years, we have been operating what we call an academic staff college. In-house academic staff college with a principal and things like that. It's a full-fledged college where we train the young teachers who are coming, even the older ones, the middle-aged ones are also trained in all aspects of teaching there. We have question paper setting done based on Bloom's taxonomy. We have a very cosmopolitan campus there. We have students from all over. We have some students from outside. We used to have some students as of today. I'm not very sure, but then we used to get some students from Sina. We used to get students. We are getting students from Nepal, Bhutan, and some other countries, the Arab countries, and all that. We have a very diverse academic program. It is well taken. The views that are expressed that private universities would like to go for engineering management type of thing, but ours is I would say, I do not know whether ours is the first university, private university. We went for BCom program, and that BCom program is different, not the general BCom program. BCom program of 4 years. We say to the parents that your children will have to study here BCom in a private university. I repeat, a private university, meaning thereby that the fees will be much, much higher than what they will otherwise pay in some normal general colleges. But then we have a huge rush because the program has been defined, designed, and it is implemented in such a way that the students have internship. In 4 years, they have 4 times internship or two months duration every week. And those internships we arrange. Most of them may not be 100%, we can't say, but most of them get some kind of time. They are trained with the accountants, with the auditors, and type of people whom we rope in, and then we place them there, and then they get trained. And thereby, they also get trained in accountancy, etc. kinds of things, so that they will have a future, a bright future in diverse fields, etc. We have programs in the PG, we have research programs, and research programs, we implement research programs, may I say that with all sincerity and all that we ensure that the no thesis is allowed to be submitted unless there are 2 research papers, one in Scopus Index journals. It is written in we have our website, and the website somebody can open and see that it is there. And we do sort of follow that very strictly. We have emphasis on research. We say that our teachers should be doing research and they should take the research into the classroom. We have some of the innovative things where we say that every program should have a term tutor. A first year student studying physics should do a term tutor. And that's what is being implemented in our university. We have several such things in our university where we imbibe the problem solving skills through term paper. We have industrial internship of 1 semester division, and that's really our parents. We found that first year we had some difficulties. Parents were not willing, the industries were not willing to accept, but then over the years, last 4 years we have been implementing it, and over the years today we find that it's one of the best innovative things that, or rather the things that we have done, which are liked with the students and the parents, as well as the industry. We encourage students for extracurricular activities, games, sports, gymnasium, meditation, hobby clubs, and things like that. Students are exposed to teachers from some of the best universities through many tie-ups that we have in our case. We have a credit-based education system. It is fully implemented, credit-based. We say that our students should be future ready. So the programs programs are being offered. We have options for the students to choose interdisciplinary courses. In fact, that is another innovative thing that we have done. We say to get a degree in mechanical engineering, my specialization is mechanical engineering. Incidentally, we say to get a degree in mechanical engineering, a minimum number of courses have to be done. Then you choose courses from history. You choose courses from, because we have humanities program over there, you choose courses from management. You are good in tourism and things, etc. like that. You choose courses from the hotel management that we have in our that's the kind of thing that we do here. I would like to say that some of these things that we are doing are being appreciated by all our stakeholders, and we are very happy that our university is doing very well. The private universities have a huge opportunity. They have challenges, but those challenges have to be converted into opportunities. We got to create top-level private universities which should have issues, autonomy that we have been talking about, and who should be practicing innovation. Last but not least, well, all said and done, that should be the governmental policies modified, changed, so that they should encourage private players in the field of education. Because today, if education has gone to 20% higher education level has gone up, may I see that it is not because of IITs, it is not because of central university or state university. It is not because of the private players that are there in the field of higher education. And this is what we have to encourage more and more, and maybe government funding in some way. I do not say directly that there be funding to the institutions, but in some other way, some way can be found out so that encouragement will be given to the private universities. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.